Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
But I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer.
And you can't stay off the weed.
This guy's such an idiot here.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Like an improv conversation. Improversation.
I can't hear anything. I can hear my voice. Why can't I hear the audio?
Hear your voice?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear it. Sorry.
It's been just a weird couple of weeks, I think.
Well, the nerves are already a little high because we have Oz's microphone hooked back in, and last time we didn't have it completely hooked in. And the aliens, they got to us.
Yeah.
Say hello, everyone. Or Oz.
What's up?
not everyone. Oh, man, just off the rails with the sound effects right now. I don't know what's
The
going on.
great Oz has spoken.
Good news and bad news. Bad news, my allergies hit me about an hour ago, so I'm hoping not to do some sniffles. And
Bad news for you. I don't really care. Next, what's the good news?
I saw a dog today.
Oh, good news. Good news. Saw a dog today.
Why is your coat so big? Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another Improversation, your end of the week Feel Good Friday show. I had to say it ever since you sent the GIF the other day.
That was so funny. I actually cried at that, too.
If you guys are new to the show, remember to hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen. Leave a comment or review. We encourage any and all types. Follow us on our social media pages at Improversation Pod on Instagram and TikTok, at Improversation P on Twitter. Check out Bean Bundle. Use promo code IMPROV25. And also remember to follow the Boozy Better on Twitter. We're going to be getting back to Boozy's picks later in the show. What's everyone? What are you guys looking at?
I was looking at the Bean Bundle ad, and I just thought like they should have called themselves Cool Beans or something like that. Would have been funny, you know?
Toe beans.
Cool
toe
beans?
beans.
What are toe beans?
What are
Like
toe
little
beans?
cat
Yeah.
beans? Little cat.
That's how you know you're
cat
not
and
on
dog
TikTok.
beans. Little beans.
Oh.
No, not on TikTok.
Not on TikTok.
Our podcast is on TikTok though.
Yeah.
Go follow it.
Maybe we should get Oz to take over our TikTok account for
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We can work up a contract. We'll pay you like a
because we
weekly
fucking
fee.
suck at TikToking. Well,
We just got so many things going on,
so that's
dude.
the
It's
problem.
hard. It's we like to do this for fun.
and like when
I
you're
like looking at TikTok.
well, okay, but when you're
I barely
But-
look at it.
when you're doing it, you can just mix in a little post here and there. You know,
Okay, yeah, I could do that.
You do spend a lot of time on TikTok, so
he does. He does.
We can work out
I
something.
got a few of them last night, actually.
They're funny. They're so funny.
I think last time I brought this up, I had like 60 unopened TikToks,
I think
and
I had
then
75
Yesterday.
at like
yeah, and then I opened them, and now I have about 68 again.
Man,
And
that's
it's only
the
been about a
problem.
week.
Like, I'll catch up, and then as soon as I'm caught up, like a day later, I'm like, fuck, there's like 100 again.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I always see the notifications pop on my phone, and usually I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting there watching TV
I
or
don't do it
doing
either.
work, and it's like I can't find myself to open it. Even Instagram. Instagram's a little different, I think, because we've been
Instagram
used
is
it
a little
more.
different.
But
Just make the switch.
I
don't know
have
if I
made the
want
switch.
to.
It's like
Not completely, but-
it's like Xbox 360 to
You know-
PS4. It's that.
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
true. You
switch.
got to
Yeah.
make a switch. Well, you know, like when Instagram stories first came about, I like boycotted Instagram stories. I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah,
They just
because
ripped
Snapchat.
right off.
Yeah, that's right.
I was
That's
like, I'm going to keep posting my Snapchat stories. I'm never going to post an Instagram story. And it took me like 2 years to actually post an Instagram story.
Now Facebook's got stories.
Now everything has fucking
Yeah.
stories.
Everything's
I can't
got
keep
stories,
track.
yeah.
They're all the same. Like
Twitter, Fleet. I think they're called Fleets.
Fleets?
What's up with that?
I don't like it. Just
Man.
keep to the same.
Fleets or fleets
No,
Greta
Fleets.
Van Vliet.
with a V.
No, FLEETS. A fleet.
Doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense.
Like a
fleet.
fleet of airplane. Is
Right.
that right?
Yeah.
A fleet of
Yeah.
airplanes?
Yeah, I think
I thought
so.
it would be like a video tweet, like a Vleet.
Like a Vliet.
That makes more sense,
That's
but no.
fucking stupid.
What? I thought that made more sense.
Vliet.
Yeah, like
Vliet.
like Fred.
Fred Van Vliet.
Van Vliet, yeah. I don't get it,
That's
but
just
yeah,
tough to say.
They're literally all the same. Just hey, here's my story. Let me know. Here's what you're doing or I'm doing for the next 24 hours. I don't know, but I kind of agree with you said.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Stay in your
I don't
lane.
like it. You know, you guys were good at different things. Now you're all the same. Don't make me choose.
Yeah.
I mean, I will, and it's probably going to be Instagram.
If you had to choose, yeah, you You'd go with TikTok, wouldn't you?
Why?
One-
All the
If you had one more?
TikToks just come to my Reels page on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get it from the source.
Why? Why would I have like 6 different things when I could just combine it all into one, like my fucking online banking?
Because it's literally stumble
Great point.
upon videos, and that's what I loved back in the
I like
day.
it too, but I get it from my Reels, dude. I send you guys some crazy shit.
You do, yeah.
Yeah. I know.
And
you know
Oz
what?
half
We
the time
actually-
says, I sent it on TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna say we actually look at them because we're all pretty active on Instagram.
Yeah, why don't you just be active on the
I just
Tik?
can't. I don't have enough brain
That's all.
capacity.
Yeah. It's like, what is that thing?
I
There's an-
tried. I really did try.
It's so good.
I know.
Oz, maybe you can look this up. We'll put you to work right away. What is it called? There's an actual name or theory, I believe, for your brain capacity can only hold about 100 to 150 names. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Is that true?
Yeah, because I'm going to, just to set this up for the future, I'm going to talk about something to do with brain and memory a little bit. And Mike, I told you I had something I wanted to bring up. I actually have a prop I brought with me that I'm going to pull out later. And we're going to talk about it. So that's just a little
You have
tease.
a what? Sorry.
Faces.
prop.
Oh, I thought you said a pop.
It's faces,
No, I
not
wish.
Ooh,
names.
what kind of pop? Me too.
Sorry, Oz?
Faces, not names. 5,000.
Wow.
No, there is one for names. I know there's one for names, but
How many
5,000 faces is a lot, dude.
That
Come
is
on.
a lot. But you know what? I definitely know at least 5,000 faces.
Is it because I'm on Bing again?
I don't know why you're on Bing.
Do you not have Chrome? Get with Chrome.
It
Come
is
on,
with
dude.
Chrome. I made Chrome my.
Now,
I got heartburn.
we've talked about this before, maybe not on the podcast, but do you think you can name every single person or remember every single person from our graduating high school class?
Absolutely
no.
not.
And how many kids were in that class? Probably about 300, 315.
There were about
we had a
350
We had a
kids.
large graduating
Bring
class.
up some names.
Well, I'm not just going to throw out random names out there in the public, but
I will.
I know you. I know you will, but
KAA is one of my favorites. You guys
yes,
know who
I
that
know.
is?
I know who
Yeah.
that is. Yeah.
I love it. It's just a great name. I'll never
Yeah,
forget him.
There's a bunch of people like him and a few others. Now I could probably spew out at least 50 to 100.
Like
And-
Yoo-Hoo? Remember Yoo-Hoo?
Sorry,
Yoo-Hoo?
who's Yoo-Hoo?
Johanna.
Oh, and the same first
That
and
was his
last name,
nickname.
Ricky Bobby.
That was his nickname, Yoo-Hoo. Yeah, Yoo-Hoo.
Yeah.
Yoo-Hoo.
If you saw all their faces, you'd probably recognize and be like, "Hey, I don't remember your name, but you
I'd
were
like
probably
to
in my
think
class."
I remember most people.
Now, there was someone you threw at me a couple months ago, and Oz 1.0 had brought this up. He was getting married to a girl in our graduating class that we knew. Maybe I'll write down the name. I don't want to say it. I just don't want it getting out there because a lot of people do listen to us now. And
Wow. Big time, big time.
big time. And we were like, who the hell is that guy? And everyone's like, you don't remember this guy? He hung out with these people from high school, and he's
Was it me?
It might have
That
been you.
said, you don't remember this guy?
I'm gonna type in the name up here, and then I'll.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's
So-
who I was thinking about, too.
But who is that guy? Everyone was like, "Oh, he was in our grade," and I was like,
You
this
don't
guy-
remember him?
No, I don't. And you know what? I'm gonna actually talk about what I was gonna bring up because
Because he looked so different.
this
Remember I
is the same
sent you
thing.
a picture of
Yes.
what he used
Do you
to
know
look
what the
like?
Mandela effect is?
Yes,
And
it's when you think that something that someone told you or something that maybe you had seen in passing or subconsciously, it's when you like recreate that event in your mind as
Yeah.
something that actually happened to you.
Yeah. So I'll read the definition that I have here.
Let's
but
hear it, Oz. What's the def?
I wanted to bring this up now
Because
because
I'm on Bing.
but just hold on. I have it right here.
You
It's
have
okay.
one
It's
job,
okay.
okay? One.
Give it to him.
I will.
Bring my own computer.
Yeah, exactly. Do it.
So we're bringing this up naturally, improvisation, because I was going to talk about this later, and I will bring out the prop in a second. But the Mandela effect describes a situation in which a person or a group of people have a false memory of an event.
Right.
So it's basically you trick yourself.
It's like the Berenstain Bears. Everyone thought the Berenstain Bears was the Berenstain Bears, like EIN, but it's the Berenstain.
There it is on camera,
Yeah.
and I brought this up because I was
Yeah.
doing a little bit of fall cleaning.
remember that.
And I came across this book, and I was like, man, isn't there a huge conspiracy
And
about this book
lot of it-
or the I mean,
Yeah,
the
there
series,
was.
the series.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say the Mandela effect, the name came from Nelson Mandela was in prison, right? And
Yes.
people had thought he had died years prior.
See, I didn't even tell you about this, and you're already reading my mind. This is why we got improvisation, because I have it as an example. Yes, that's how it started.
It's perfect. So I remember reading about it or reading something about it. I don't know why. I don't know how it came up, but it was a little while ago, and it was super fascinating. Like, everyone was like so sure he had died. It was kind of like me with Bob Barker
in the 80s.
Yeah, and he wasn't dead.
He died in 2013.
Like, he was alive for quite a long time after that. Yeah,
33 years.
Yeah, long enough for fucking Jonathan Bernier to not even acknowledge his existence in the slightest.
In the NHL, his great career on and off the ice.
I mean, had he died in the 80s, I'm sure it would have saved Bernier a lot of embarrassment, maybe his career, but...
No, I don't think so. Because he literally explained how he was one of the best goalies in the NHL of all time.
So bad. That was
terrible,
so bad.
terrible.
So cringe. But yeah, so I like this topic actually right off the bat. I don't know where we're going with it, but...
Well, I brought up because I found the book and I was like, man, this is a crazy. So it has to do with the Mandela effect, but also a conspiracy theory of time and space in travel and alternate universes. So I found this little 1.5 minute video of the Berenstain Bears. So, whoever this person's name is, she will explain
You might remember reading the Berenstain Bears books or watching the cartoon when you were little, so you might be shocked to find out that you've probably been spelling their name wrong this entire time. Most people familiar with the popular series totally think that the Bears' last name is spelled Berenstein with an E, but that's not right. The actual correct title of the series is the Berenstain Bears with an A. Apparently, when many fans are made aware of this fact, they can't believe it, remembering for sure that the books they grew up reading definitely said Berenstain on the cover. In reality, the Bears were named after the authors, Stan and Jan Berenstain. Unable to come to grips with the fact that they had the name wrong this whole time, some fans have even come up with a crazy theory as to why the name was changed.
watching the Bears, too.
They believe that the name of the books was actually Berenstain at one point, but we've shifted into a parallel universe, an alternative timeline, if you will, where the title of the books is the Berenstain Bears. There's actually a name for this theory, the Mandela effect.
That gave me
the theory
goosebumps
states
a
that
bit.
shared false memories are in fact glimpses into parallel worlds with different timelines. There's a popular picture circulating around the web thanks to believers of this theory that they claim to be scanned from an actual book with the Berenstain spelling, which they say proves the theory. But eagle-eyed internet sleuths have insisted this popular image is fake.
Sorry, eagle-eyed internet sleuths.
That's me.
Based on magical photo forensics. But not everyone thinks this is a huge conspiracy. There are many fans who believe a much simpler explanation for the mass misunderstanding. Steen is a much more common suffix in names than stain, so people simply remembered the series having the more common spelling by mistake. Guess we'll never know for sure, but the last one sounds pretty reasonable to us. How about you?
Yeah, I would agree.
What do you think?
I would love for there to be some crazy conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy, but like not everything's a conspiracy. So
no, of course not. But
you know
what makes everything a potential conspiracy is when one of them comes true, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe that's an actual thing. Maybe there is a conspiracy here, but this isn't the first time I've heard of it, and I don't think this was actually the proper video because she just relates it to the Mandela effect, and they're saying, that's what it is, don't think about alternate worlds because, your mind will explode.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of blow my mind a little bit, though.
It does. So I looked up some of...
Because I was one of the people that believed it was EIN forever. Like,
I agree. And you know what? I do also agree with the fact that Steen is a way more common spelling, so... I could see where that comes because I've never seen Berenstain.
Me neither.
And I always thought it was pronounced Bernstein Bears or Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain, yeah, Berenstain Bears.
Just kind of rolls off the tongue. So I looked up 40 examples of the Mandela effect. So it all started obviously with the death of Nelson Mandela. But Looney Tunes, now it's actually spelled Tunes.
No. But I thought it was that.
You thought it was Tunes, Toons, right? Yeah, well, you're wrong. And that is a Mandela effect right there. And trust me, I was looking through most of these 40, and there are some that it's like, whoa, this is actually really strange. So obviously the Berenstain Bears. Oh, what's Curious this? George apparently doesn't have a tail.
Yeah, I don't think I remember him having a tail in the book.
Do monkeys not have tails, though?
They totally do.
So why does George not have a tail?
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean... I guess only the author would know the answer to that.
I was going to say the author's a psychopath.
Or it's behind his body there.
Apparently he never had a tail.
Every single picture?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Because look, it literally says, was never there. Are you freaking out? Okay, moving on.
I don't recall it ever being there, really, now that I think about it.
And here's this one, Febreze. Apparently, there's just one E.
Yeah, I don't...
But Breeze is spelled with two E's, right?
I don't know...
You thought it was Febreze, though, right?
I thought it was 1E, to be honest.
All right. You're smarter than all
Like
of us.
it
It's
looks
okay.
better. Like it looks more right to me.
I don't know. I can see what you're saying, but there was one here that also threw me off. Fruit Loops.
Yep.
Did you know it was always spelled F-R-O-O-T?
Yep. I did.
Yeah, I feel like I did too, but I just can't remember.
But I love Fruit Loops.
This is the one where I started to lose my mind. The Monopoly Man. Apparently, he's never worn a monocle. Do you not recall at one point in your childhood or in your life seeing the Monopoly Man with a monocle?
Yeah, for sure.
Who's doing this to me?
We're either passing through an alternate universe or they're just saying that I don't know where that came from. It's the Mandela effect on your
He
mind.
definitely had a monocle.
But apparently not, right? 100% he had a monocle. Like I could almost with 100% certainty say he had a monocle.
He looks like the Mr. Peanut guy. Can you look? Does the Mr. Peanut guy have a mustache? Oz?
No
Google?
mustache, but he has a monocle.
He does have a monocle.
He has a mustache? I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm wondering.
Oz is going to look it up. I'm going
Just
to
Google Mr. Peanut.
See, even this girl with the Halloween costume has a monocle, but no other picture.
No other picture has him with a monocle.
Yeah, this is a Mandela effect.
Yeah, that's the website.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have one.
Crazy, right?
Monopoly Man sticker, maybe the.
What's that picture?
This is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy because I totally remember Pikachu
Having
having,
black on the end of his tail.
but apparently not.
Weird. Not a fan of that one.
Yeah, this is 13
That does
of
not
40.
look right at all.
You're fucking me up.
I know, dude. I don't know. Some of these are really cool, cool and creepy at the same time. Kit Kat, no hyphen. I don't know if I can ever remember what the Kit Kat logo had looked like, but apparently there's no hyphen. But most people thought there was.
You know what? My brother, remember in elementary school, Oz? I don't know if you did it, G, but we had to create life size in art class of chocolate
I feel like
bars.
we have to do something similar.
My brother
yeah.
did a Kit Kat, and I think he still has it. So I'm gonna go see if he put a hyphen in there.
Yes, get Chris to show us that because that will be part of the
Because it
Mandela
looks
effect.
right.
Now this one, Fruit of the Loom, 150,000%.
Yes.
It used to have a cornucopia.
100%.
The mind is saying no, never.
No.
I know. I have seen this on the inside of
Correct.
white T-shirts.
Me too.
And even the person who wrote this was like, right? Like there
Yeah,
used
no,
to be
that's-
a cornucopia.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
Peanut, no
strange.
mustache. We're getting confirmation on that.
No, we're getting monocle confirmation.
Yeah, he does have a monocle.
Yes,
but
yes, no mustache. For the people
He does
watching
have
at
a
home-
top hat. So does the Monopoly guy. He's got a cane. It just
storage compartments in your brain.
Yeah.
correct.
For the people watching at home, we're looking at 40 Mandela effect examples from goodhousekeeping.com.
If you're just tuning in.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in or you're just listening, that's the images we are looking at. Cheez-It, apparently it's Cheez-It or Cheez-Its. I always thought it was Cheez-It, to be honest.
I knew it was Cheez-It. I just call them Cheez-Its because it's plural.
Yeah.
Because there's more than one of them in the box.
Mona Lisa. Now, most people have thought that the original. Now, looking at these two,
I don't really see much of a difference.
okay, well, let me see if I can zoom in because they say the original Mona Lisa had a bit of a smile.
Right.
And, oh, what happened there? And now they're saying no dice. Never had this much of a smile. They say over the years, her smile has decreased. Now, how is that possible?
I think one side is like a frown, and then one side goes up.
Even from here, because I was staring at this for a good 20 minutes, it does seem to appear that there is more of a smile on this image, and Mike's going to get real close, compared to here. Now, what is that?
No, they look the exact same.
He does seem to be clenching.
He does seem to be clenching. Boom, that's a fart, motherfucker. That's a great movie, too.
It is
Jaws,
fantastic.
that's a great movie.
The one on the left is.
They say the one on the left has slightly more of a smile.
This just looks like a brighter picture than that one. That's it.
That's what I thought. But anyway, we're moving on.
It's the eyes. The eyes. Like she's got more smile in her eyes there than she does.
But how, dude? It's a painting. You
Just
know what
the
I
way
mean?
We
Like
perceive it, I guess. Like
maybe.
I don't really know. What about C-3PO?
C-3PO apparently had a silver leg.
No.
Dude, don't argue with facts.
Half the fucking originals were like barely colored anyway. So
The robot isn't all gold. He has one silver piece on his right leg. Look it up. Look up a picture because I honestly remember him always having a fully gold plated body.
as do I.
So Oz will get a picture
His
on
name is
that.
C-3PO.
The Flintstones has two T's. Honestly, just thought it was Flynn. Flintstones.
That's gold.
And that's on Wikipedia, so you know it's real.
Exactly. But there's one up there with a silver leg.
Yeah.
Look.
Wow.
How weird is that?
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. Though,
Neither am I, but I think that's pretty
what about
common.
the Flintstones? Go back.
It looks like it because it reflects off the other leg.
Now, does this one creep you out yet, Mike, or what?
So is the quote that
The actual quote was life was like a box of chocolates.
Wow.
And not life is like a box of chocolates.
I did not know that.
Should we type that in and see what comes up? And then actually we'll get to hear it, I guess. Let's hopefully we won't get pulled, but is this the line? 1 minute and 36 seconds.
Listening to my microphone, like that's where I listen from. Great movie, by the way.
Fantastic.
Hello. My name's Forrest Gump.
Want a chocolate?
Before he even starts, the title literally says life is
like a
Want a
box.
chocolate?
You want a chocolate?
I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Tom Hanks, legend,
Great.
top
My
one.
mom always said life was like a box of
Oh
chocolates.
shit.
You never know what you're going to get.
That's crazy. So he does clearly say life was a box of like a box of chocolates.
That's crazy. I didn't know that either.
There's so many of these, dude. I actually didn't go through all of them. I lied, but
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
that wasn't an actual line.
Oh, it's
in snow.
magic mirror on the wall.
Luke, I am your father. Never said.
What?
Yeah. All he said was, I am your father. People have just added Luke in front of it.
I am your father. Yeah, you're right.
Right? I don't know. I just thought this Mandela effect, this whole thing is just so bizarre. And it all happened because of little fall cleaning, and I found the Berenstain Bears book in my basement. So, I mean, it is magic. And I feel like we did talk about the Mandela effect. Well, we definitely talked about time and space with Interstellar a couple episodes ago.
Mandela effect is cool, though, because, like,
super cool.
It's just the way
super
your
weird,
brain...
man.
I think it's just the way your brain, like...
I was going to say, do you think it has to do with your brain, the way it functions,
Yeah,
or do you
like
think it's an
the way
actual
your
conspiracy
brain-
of time and space?
It could be some of both. It could be one. They could be one and the same. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. Next topic.
What do you want to believe?
Yeah. Like, we could get real deep into it, but, like, you know, I just think it's the way your brain copes with having so much information, and it's a way for your brain to, like, relate things together so that it retains memories. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone.
The brain
should
is so
take
interesting,
psychology.
man.
Yeah, psychology is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's really cool stuff.
It is. We'll transition a bit here till we get before we get to some
Yeah, it was a rough
big science.
It was a rough week in
It
football.
was a rough week in football.
yeah.
The Boozy Bet. I wish there was big science on how to do proper football picks. Maybe the Boozy Better knows. So go check him out on Twitter at Boozy Better. Last week, you know, tough games. He went 2 for 5, I think, but he had the Cowboys on the right call, but it's a push because it's 3-point on the line. And he had the Cardinals. They did win. Unfortunately, not by 5. They won by 1. This week, the Boozy Better. He is riding the Bears +7 at the Browns. Saints +3 at the Pats, so he's taken the Pats as a -3 favorite. The Washington football team is +7.5 at the Bills. He's riding the Washington football team. In the afternoon, Seahawks -2 at Vikings. He's going with the Vikings at +2.
Yeah, because all these games have just been so close.
He told me today over text he likes the Vikings at +2. He says they're due.
They are due.
That's good for your boys.
They should be 2-0.
Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Kirky Cousins. He's going to throw the ball a lot to those boys. And me and you are playing each other this week, so we'll definitely talk about that next week.
I'm just glad I got a win.
And then
last week.
me too. Sunday Night Football, the Packers +3 at the 49ers. He's going with the Packers as +3, and he's calling it his lock of the week. He is 2-0 on his locks of the week so far
what was
this
his
year.
lock last week that I
The
said is
Bills.
I agree is a lock. Yes, I got
Bills.
that right as well.
Yeah.
That's a good lock call.
It was a good lock call. So go follow at Boozy Better on Twitter. The Ryder Cup is going to be starting this week. Oh, it starts today, actually.
It does, yeah.
So I'm sure he'll have some random singles picks in there. There's a UFC big event next week. Volkanovski and Ortega, I think it is. Let's check it out. It might be like UFC 259. No, 259? Yeah, 259.
Burping up
258.
chicken fingers.
UFC 266. Is that what it says? Oz? Yes?
Yeah.
Just nod your head. Yeah.
That's.
Oh, so I'm way behind. Yeah, Volkanovski Ortega. Yeah, so that is the main card. I think he said Diaz and Robbie Lawler. Nick Diaz.
Yeah. I didn't even know. I thought Nick retired.
Nick and Robbie Lawler last fought, I think, 17 years ago.
I was going to say, they're both old, man.
That is a long time ago, the early 2000s.
Shevchenko, you got a Ukrainian in there.
She's good.
Tyron
She's
Woodley
unreal.
knocked Robbie Lawler out and then went and lost to Jake Paul in some shitty boxing fights.
In a fake fight, you mean? In a fake fight? Oz, can you switch the camera, please? Good, sir. So, yeah, I mean, sticking with the NFL because week 2 saw an egregious amount of taunting calls. And
so ridiculous.
There were 8 called on the weekend alone, and I actually have some of them here. So I'm going to try and connect this with the video on YouTube and post, or for an Instagram post. So remember to check us out. But here were some of these calls that were just so ridiculous. You guys won't be able to see them right now, but here were some of these.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 88, spinning the ball in the opponent's bench.
Spinning the ball.
First punt toward disqualification.
He got a flag for that. So for people who can't see, he literally got up and just spun the ball on the field. Flag.
While the Cowboys were putting up 14 points and 13 first downs. Here's a 2nd and 10. And again, going underneath. Allen.
So this is in the Cowboys-Chargers game. Lays a big hit on Keenan Allen. Talks a little smack. There's the flag.
For who? Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was ridiculous.
Yeah, so I believe that's Ed Reed with Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Makes a big stop and literally just
goes,
here it is. Well, that's a different play, but it's all the same. So basically the NFL...
It's horrible.
This rule has always been around apparently, but this offseason, the refs were asked to reinforce it and be pretty harsh with it for some reason. And there's outcry for it now.
I want to know why I think it's bullshit, because I think it's a way for the NFL to loosely fix games without actually saying that they fix games. Like, I watched, I don't know if it was in the Tampa Bay game. It might have been that, where did we see Ed Reed? Baltimore? Seattle.
Yeah, but he used to play for Baltimore, yeah.
I remember watching it, right? And they had made a big stop. It would have been like 3rd and long or like 4th down and punting. And then it was an automatic first down in like 15 yards or something. And I was like, that can change the entire game right there. You know? I don't know if he...
maybe it wasn't Ed Reed. No, it's not Ed Reed.
I think Ed Reed retired. Look at him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's so old.
That's what I thought. Anyways, that's why I was like, I don't know. But anyway, I just think it's the way for the NFL to control what's happening to certain teams. Like, I think they're still going to give Tom Brady every fucking call. They kind of did in some of their games, especially like against Dallas, for example. Like, they do that anyways. But I really think it's like a ploy for them to be like, yeah, you know, it's just such a subjective call that, like,
very, very subjective.
You can call it sometimes if you really want, or you can be like, you know what, I'm not going to call it because it's a close game, or like, because they're making a good comeback. Like, it's too subjective. A rule needs to be like a trip, like you see it, or like
there's no it's black and white.
There's too much gray area.
Yeah.
Get your fucking thing out of your nose. There needs to be a gray
throwing us
area.
off in an intense conversation about the NFL taunting rule, but I agree. And they had said, like, the representative from the committee of the owners, whatever the hell it's called, they basically said, you know, the NFL doesn't represent a league with this kind of behavior. And remember a couple years ago, they got rid of you can't do touchdown celebrations, and then there was huge outrage for that, and they're like, okay, you could celebrate again. And now they're doing the same thing with the taunting rule. You're telling me you're going to get punished for making a great play, laying a big hit, turning over the ball, intercepting, fumble, you know?
Like
I thought you were leaning in to say something.
Like a Yager salute would get someone a penalty, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Matthews pointing at the net when he scored that goal a couple years ago.
Exactly.
Oh, get in the box, 2 minutes.
Right.
You're taking out the passion,
of the game,
the emotion.
reason people watch, you know?
Man, it's
what do you got to
ridiculous.
Celebrations are supposed to be positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
taunting is not positive.
Yeah,
but you can make the
yelling in someone's ear that's saying "I'm better than you" is not positive.
You can make the argument taunting is celebrating at the same time.
Yeah, I know, but they're trying to teach the kids this.
Oh, dude, come on, man! It's football. We're talking about football here.
I'm talking about football too. I get it.
A violent sport where you're going to make big hits, big plays,
I'm
emotions.
not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying the other side of the story.
Neither of you played football. You are literally putting your life on the fucking line. I get it. I played hockey too, but like football is.
I get it. It's war. You go to war.
You go to war with these guys, and they're your family. Like I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Like it's such a different team dynamic that like
you can't yell at someone on the other team saying "F you."
Well, it's just pure emotion and
pure.
passion.
It's raw emotion.
Like you gotta be fucking crazy if you're playing this sport.
I know, and they should.
So what do you want? Do you want these guys to get penalties?
I'm going to interrupt for a second. There was the Atlanta Tampa Bay game. I forget the defensive player's name, but he basically stuffed Matt Ryan, overturned the ball on a fumble. He picked it up and he turned around and ran backwards from the 4-yard line to the end zone and got flagged for that. They said that's taunting. He turned around to face the other way, and he just because he walked into the end zone backwards or ran, whatever the hell you want to call it, that's taunting.
Making the sport look bad. Just going.
Dude, he was celebrating the fact that the defense got a stop and got a pick six.
Don't get me wrong. I know what you're saying. I'm all about being modest. I'm all about being like if you're if you're a prominent player in the sport, you should act like you've been there before, unlike LeBron James.
Kawhi Leonard.
Well, that guy just got no emotion to begin with.
But
that's what they want.
In the sense of football and defense and like getting a pick six, which doesn't happen often, sometimes ever on teams, that's a reason to be excited and to celebrate and to taunt.
It's like the great Herm Edwards said.
Hello? You play to win the game.
You don't play to just play it.
Well, part of that is like getting into your opponent's head. Mm-hmm. I don't see an issue with it.
I agree with what Oz is saying, though. Like, you take a step too far when you're yelling, like, F you in the guy's face and shit like that. But you're telling me for spinning the ball, going like, woo, or running backwards in the end zone is taunting?
The refs are told something from the league.
Of course, that's what I mean.
And they're going to call it until they're told, we went way too far.
But I think they're abusing it. They're abusing this.
That's what I mean, though. I think it's just
I don't even think they're abusing it. I think they're just being told what to do, and they're doing it. And if it needs to change,
the problem is how can they change it?
Change it.
Yeah, how can they change it?
I think it's a slippery slope.
It is.
It's a slippery slope.
You go too far on the pendulum one way, it's got to come back.
It's not really fair though. Either
I just don't.
The teams that embrace the rule got flagged for it, lost a game because of it. Now other teams who do it don't get the same ramifications. It's just not fair now.
Sports is getting softer.
Yeah, and it's getting softer. But like the more rules they add, the less integrity there is for the game.
Change the entire game.
Oh my god!
Yeah, sorry.
What were you saying?
Yeah, Mike.
I was just saying the more rules they add, the less integrity there is for the game because like you're just complicating it, overcomplicating.
You're adding too many little things.
What did you say?
Yeah, I forget now.
Me too. Sorry. That's what happens.
It's okay, but this is kind of on the same topic. The Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays have ran away with the AL East. They're making the playoffs for sure, but the Jays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, the other teams in the division, competing for the wild card spot. So the Jays are in Tampa, or they were in Tampa, past future. Kevin Kiermaier, who's a center fielder out there for Tampa Bay, a couple games ago, he was sliding into home. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher for the Blue Jays. You didn't hear about this?
No.
Yeah, Alejandro Kirk, his
been all over the radio.
Yeah, his little notepad or slip or cheat sheet, I guess you want to call it.
It's how
of signals. Oz would know more because he's played baseball, but it's basically what you're going to tell the pitcher. This is what we should throw to this guy. Your signals,
like the symbols, and
all the signals. And I heard a great reference today on TSN radio. It was like the guy's like, "Oh, you gotta love when the first and third base coaches are out there doing river dance with their hands to try and get a symbol." It's like cheating, not cheating, but sign stealing or tipping off pitches. All that kind of stuff has been in baseball forever. So what happened was the note or the cheat sheet fell out of Kirk's pocket, wrist guard, whatever. Kiermaier he had stayed on the ground and just took a glance at it, picked up the cheat sheet, and the Blue Jays lost their mind. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
They didn't know this though.
They didn't know till after
the game.
That's cheating.
What's cheating though? This. I wanted to get into this discussion because you play baseball, so you know about
Picking
sign
up
stealing.
The fucking thing is cheating.
Whose fault is that?
It's not a matter of whose fault is it. If you hit someone with your car, whether it's an accident or on purpose, you're still going to fucking jail.
What kind of analogy is that?
I'm saying a rule is a rule. You're not allowed to steal
time out.
people's signs.
Yes, you are. In baseball, you are allowed to steal people's signs. That's why they have.
I think you are.
No, you are, because that's why there's so many different things. It's literally called sign stealing. The Astros were cheating because they were finding ways to let their players know what the signs were beforehand. You know what I mean?
A player picked up the fucking thing, no?
Don't let the cheat sheet fall out of your pocket. Don't let it slip out.
Don't give it to the other team.
Pitchers now, if you've noticed, maybe not because I just took this in the other day, pitchers are no longer doing signs between the second baseman and the catcher. They're writing everything down in their hat and they're looking into their hat. You know why? So no one can steal their signs and they don't have to do these crazy little hand symbols to let them know I'm about to throw a four-seamer or something, right? So, I mean, I get it. I would 100% be upset if I was the Blue Jays, but gamesmanship, dude. Like, this kind of thing has been in baseball forever. If that thing falls out, don't let them get it.
That's like
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
Quarterback's playbook falls off his arm.
Yeah.
The defense picks it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
The Patriots got fined for watching other people's playbooks.
No, that's totally different. They were filming practices, dude.
But still, like,
that's blatantly spying on the team.
But when he's calling like Omaha 22, they know what that play is going to be now.
Don't let your strategy fall in the hands of the enemy.
I just think that it's still like you have to do.
It's a big gray area.
I think
that's why I want to talk. It's a good discussion because you could see both sides. It's like I know why you're mad.
It's like a doctor. Like they have a fiduciary duty to act. A fiduciary duty, meaning they are professionals. Mm-hmm. They sign it like they sign an oath, or it's a duty of care. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
It's their job whether this information happened. It's like insider trading. Whether or not the information came to you organically or you went out and searched for it. Whether you act on it or not, it's still illegal.
100%.
This is the same thing, in my opinion.
It is. It's the same concept, but in baseball, it doesn't matter because it happens all the time.
And there's no rules.
Baseball's boring enough. We don't need people stealing their fucking signs and shit and making it less boring because these guys are just going to fucking hit everything.
Well, it was weird because the next game, somehow the Rays took 11 walks and they never walk that much. So all of a sudden their plate discipline shot through the roof, but they also struck out 10 times. So they didn't get the full memo from the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
But in baseball, I agree with what you're saying.
You can know what's coming and still suck at hitting the ball.
100% because you got to swing at 97 mile an hour
Robbie
pitches.
Ray's the guy pitching to you, then even if you know the pitch, you're likely to not fucking hit it. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's still that.
I agree with what both of you said about, it should be illegal, whatever, but
he disagrees.
Okay, sorry.
And you disagree as well.
I do because it's baseball and it's always been around and there's literally no rules for this.
Like,
there's no rules.
How would you feel about that?
Fucking cheese.
If the entire team...
I would be cheesed at Kirk for letting it out of his fucking pants.
But if you're like playing to make it into like the Nationals or whatever, right? You have 3 games left. One of them, you have to play the top place team who's already crushing your division. And not only that, on top of it, now they cheat to fucking beat you.
But hold on, how did
they
cheat? Did it fall into their lap like it did for Kiermaier, or did they actively go out and steal information?
Yeah, either way, like I said,
I think that's the gray area.
It's an important distinction.
I like your analogy on that.
Yeah, I make it like I can relate it to insider trading.
I agree, but the fact of the matter is, in baseball they don't give a shit. So that's the gray area. Like there's no rules. There's no rules for it.
It's such a loosely regulated sport to begin with. Like you guys can do steroids, but this one guy's gonna fucking get nailed for it. And you can have some sticky tack. Well, we might enforce it. I'll let you know during the 3rd inning.
What's that shit called?
Like,
is it pine tar?
Pine tar, yeah. Like they're always just doing these fucking random little things. Oh, 7-inning games? Sure.
No,
that's only back to back.
That's only for back to back.
I'm just saying,
and I think that's a fairly new rule of the 7 innings.
Like soft salary cap, why not? Like it's just such a
no salary cap,
right? Exactly. So like
you got billionaire owners, spend your money.
So that's what I mean. Baseball is already to me like
it's cutthroat.
Like not even cutthroat.
You got to do whatever you can to win.
Makeshift.
It's just like they don't make an effort to make it a competitive league at all. It's the same people who are always good because it's the same teams that have the money.
where the players want to go.
I mean, they made a whole fucking movie about Oakland A's trying to make a run for...
Because they don't have enough money. They got to figure out different ways.
You know, I just think it's not... You shouldn't be having to worry about those issues. I mean, maybe to some extent, but...
But can you not confirm sign stealing is a part of baseball?
Yeah,
it's a part of the game.
You can try and figure
it out. Yeah,
signs. 100%.
Well, I mean, that's like saying
if the information falls into your lap, what are you gonna do?
Well, the first part about this is you can't yell to your batter or your runner what to do.
Yeah, the Astros were banging trash cans in to do that.
Well, you could, but the other team's gonna hear you.
And then they're going to get pissed off.
Skak, run, steal second base. You can't do that, so you have to figure out something else.
Yeah.
So that's where the signs come in. It's just communication.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're out in the open. They can see you. You can steal the signs. But it's still shady of picking that shit up.
Oh, of course. Of course it is. But
someone else, he looked at it. He saw what it was.
And
then he picked it up and ran, back to his bench.
Right. Like, he could have said, oh, hey, I could have seen that. You should probably pick it up, or I will take a glance at it.
And then, good guy Mike would have done that.
Of course, because we're good guys. But
I would have stole that thing. Fuck?
That's what I was just going to say.
It just takes away from your character, B, your professionalism, and I just think it makes you look like a fucking jackass.
I agree, but
Coach
baseball's got no regulations on it, so
make one.
Yeah, make one exactly, if you can't beat them, join them. That's literally the saying. You can't beat them, join them.
It'd probably be easier to tell the Jays you can't have this in.
Well, it came out. It came out. They carry a paper shredder with them on road trips, whatever. They are saying teams are so self-conscious about all that information because of what's gone on with the Red Sox with the Apple Watches, the Houston Astros with the trash cans, and I'm sure there's other, what do you call them, cases.
Can't you just go out and play the game without trying to fucking cheat?
Yeah.
It's so fucking sickening to me.
I don't know if I want to call it cheating.
It is, though. It's teams actively going out there and trying to do anything but play the game. Like, just fucking play baseball, man.
They're just trying to get an advantage. They're trying to know what's coming.
It's just so dumb. Like,
Hey, I can see both sides of it. I hate it. Sure.
Cash just apologized to Montoya, and that was it.
Yeah, they've kind of forgot about it. They're like, we don't want to talk about this anymore. But
they're close. They're butt buddies. They're chill.
That's right. Montoya came from the Rays, but we'll switch. They
have a WhatsApp group. It's it's nothing to them. They'll just change their signs. It's all good.
We'll keep you more fired up because the NHL camps started on Wednesday, Tuesday, sometime earlier this week. All the Canadian teams got their thing. Leafs fully vaxxed, Ottawa fully vaxxed.
Except for Bill.
Yeah, Bill, but he will be in time.
That's fucked.
Same with Duncan Keith. He just got his second dose, was holding out, so he's going to miss the beginning of camp, but he'll be there for opening night. But there's one story for an American team. The Detroit Red Wings, their young forward Tyler Bertuzzi. Tyler Bertuzzi, he's not vaccinated, and he probably won't be going to the games in Canada. I think on the way here, I heard they're playing about 9 games in Canada. Not sure when those games are. Let's say Detroit is in a wild card spot in that Atlantic division, which is highly unlikely. But what if they have to go play the Leafs for 2 and Montreal for 2? And then what are you going to do? And he's got like 25 goals. He's being one of the best players. Like, what do you do?
The guy had a slim chance at being a decent player in the NHL, and I feel like this is just going to completely ruin it for him.
Yeah.
That was my question. If you're Steve Yzerman, what do you do? Like,
I don't know, nothing. I say, fuck you, buddy, you fucking piece of shit. If you think you're fucking better than everyone else, then fuck off.
Yeah.
Good. Get the fuck out of here. That's exactly what I would say to him. Legit.
Can he not play in New York?
Oh, then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Legit. Okay, see, I am, Tyler says.
Yeah, I mean, he's an RFA, and there were talks about him getting offer sheeted, or they were going to trade him because Steve Yzerman just works wonders, whether he's in Tampa Bay or Detroit somehow. I mean, if you're a team that was inquiring about Tyler Bertuzzi, do you do it now? You just stay away from it?
There's like a player like him. I was going to say a player like him is a dime a dozen. That's not necessarily true.
No,
but
he is a big guy who can hit and score, so he's a rare type of player.
That
but
being said,
nothing crazy.
It's not. He's not going to make or break my team. So I'm going to say take a walk.
I think he's better than Andre Case.
What's that?
Maybe
he's better than Andre Case.
Andre Cash, yeah.
Maybe. Like, I don't know.
Can he play in New York and California?
Good question.
That's a great question because I think I remember hearing that someone on Edmonton is going to miss about 30 games because Edmonton's got to play games in the U.S. in California because of L.A., Arizona. Well, that's not California, but L.A., San Jose, Anaheim, because they're in the same division.
Right.
They have quarantine rules. So they said he's going to, this player, I forget, I don't even know if they mentioned,
they didn't
30 games.
Yeah. I know.
30 games.
Yeah.
You play,
you're just not doing your job.
One
though.
holdout. I don't know who it is.
A holdout, yeah.
But
It's Connor McDavid.
Like this, I know like there's obviously really like people are very opinionated on the vaccine, whether or not people should be forced to get it or not. I mean, at a certain point, like if it's going to affect the ability for you to do your job, either A, get a new job, or B, get a vaccine, because
Well, that's basically
those are your own, in my opinion, as if I'm his boss, aka like the owner, general manager.
Yep.
I'm going to say, hey, listen, buddy,
You're hurting the company.
I like you. You're hurting us.
Yeah.
And I can't have you on. I'm going to find someone who A, wants to be here, B, will do whatever it takes to be here, and C, will not bring this negative attention to our team, a team who already has enough negative attention.
Well, think about Edmonton and Duncan Keith. Like, what did he say? He's like, "Oh yeah,
Such a fucking idiot.
I don't want to affect my salary or team salaries, and you know, I'm here to do a job." Can you imagine the outrage in Edmonton after that trade they made, which I think they lost the trade? I don't care what Duncan Keith is now. He's not the same guy he was in the early 2010s, because we actually know what to call that era. But like, imagine he didn't do it and he was like, yeah, I'm not getting it.
Imagine sitting across from that guy.
I would be so irate as an Oilers fan.
I'd be pissed.
So irate.
It's just hilarious
If I was
because it's
Connor
something that would
McDavid,
happen to them.
Like, you should have enough balls to go up to your teammates.
Duncan Keith, I don't care
and
if he's
say,
twice your age.
"Hey."
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You think Nathan McKinnon is letting anyone play, like, not play 30 games this year?
Eat Kit Kats and Skittles?
Like, legit.
Yeah,
not
no, I
only
agree.
is he like, not only is he like telling them not to eat fucking junk food, but like, imagine this situation. Nathan McKinnon would not have it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
You got to be a leader on your team.
You do. You have to sit your guys down. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how much longer they've been in the league.
Yep.
If you're the captain, you sit them down and you say, listen.
I agree, man. 100%.
This is what you got to do. You do it or you don't.
And
Yeah, you can make your choice,
This
but
is
there
a
are
choice.
consequences.
It's still a choice for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, these are the choices.
There's consequences. And speaking of leaders and choices and consequences,
the illusion of choice.
Yes, exactly.
Morgan-
R.I.P. Trevor Mawad.
yes.
Yeah.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I saw Russell Wilson talk about him a bit.
Oz and I read a book called It Takes What It Takes. And it was a really good book, good motivation, just kind of tells you what you need to gives you some tools to help keep you motivated, keep you going, give yourself a more realistic expectation of where you should be, where you expect to be, that sort of thing. He was like a life coach, a coach
of
like
Russell Wilson.
Like he was really close with Russell.
A lot of athletes, I think, too.
Lots of athletes, exactly. And his dad died really young from cancer, and that's unfortunately how he passed away too. I didn't even know he was sick or anything, but like I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because like we read this book not less than a year ago, and
and that happened.
it's just crazy. So, and even in the book, he mentions about when he was a kid, he had a reaction, and they said it's like leukemia, but it wasn't leukemia. And then, you know, later on in his life,
it ended up being leukemia.
Well,
wasn't
I don't know if it ended up being leukemia, but
I think it was
type of cancer.
I don't know. Yeah,
so.
Maybe something like that. But it's
Well,
it's sad either way.
How am I supposed to segue into Morgan Riley after that?
Well, I'm just saying. You know,
because I was talking about leadership and comments. You know, maybe what was the title of the book?
It takes what it takes.
Maybe that's what Morgan Riley's going to be saying.
You're goddamn right.
It takes what it takes.
That's what
because
Nathan McKinnon was saying to all the players. Hey, listen, it takes what it takes, and the vaccine is what it takes right now.
Are you sure it's not? It's just business.
Well, that's what he said, because the comment was, you know, it's, you know, I as everyone knows, I want to be a Toronto Maple Leaf. He doesn't talk like Mike Babcock, but
kind of does.
He's like, I want to be a Leaf, but, you know, business is business, and I'm not going to talk about it through the season, blah, 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 blah. So basically what I got out of it is Morgan Riley, he's going to ask for the roof. The roof. What am I saying?
He deserves.
He's going to ask for whatever the ceiling is. And if Seth Jones and Zach Werenski got...
Put him on the roof.
Yeah, put him on the roof.
Fuck that guy.
If Werenski and Jones got $9 million a year and Dahlin just signed for 3 years at $6 million per... I mean, you're telling me Morgan Riley is
not worth $8 million,
yeah,
$7.5 million
exactly,
at the very least.
Exactly, and
the guy was our only defenseman for like 5 years.
Morgan Riley has been with this team since Salute Gate.
Yeah,
think about that.
What is Salute Gate?
Remember Dion and Phil and the whole team conspired to not salute the fans because the fans had been giving them a hard time in the media, wearing the bags over their head, throwing waffles on the ice.
Bad idea.
And then they finally won at home and they're like, you know what? Yeah. Dion's like, well, bam, kabam, double Dion. I'm not giving you the salute. And then there was the huge thing about the media after, and then Randy Carlisle got fired not too long after, and the 18-wheeler, and it's like, oh, you're saying this? I got fired. This guy's such an idiot.
Yes.
Like, the disaster.
Oh, you're saying this is my fault? Saying this is my fault?
This guy's such an idiot. The disaster that was the Toronto Maple Leafs. Morgan Rielly has been here since then. He's been through it all. We talked about this years ago. He should have been named the captain.
Yeah,
I don't care if John Tavares and Austin, the guy was out in front of the media.
Morgan Rielly was definitely the most captainable person on our team, and I just made that word up.
And guess what? He's about to get thrown overboard again, like Zach. Well, not again, but just like Zach Hyman. They're going to throw overboard someone again.
The guys that gave blood, sweat, and tears, literally
blue and white.
Like, how fucking crazy is that?
I'll tell you right now.
Punching his leg right now.
Freddie Anderson had to walk, and we all had our takes on Freddie Anderson. It might have been time to go, but he was the most stable goaltender we've had in the last 15 years.
Maybe
10,
in my entire
years.
life, like straight up.
Other
Like,
than Cujo,
even still, I was too kind of young to. Like,
he had to walk. Zach Hyman had to walk. He said the same thing. Oh, I know. I want to be a Leaf. Didn't talk about it all year. Bet on himself, or maybe the organization was like, he wants a lot of money. Let's play this out. Maybe he won't be worth as much season. I fucking turned on them pretty quick. Yeah. He's out. They had to lose Connor Brown, salary dump.
Yeah. And those were all such core key players that we needed to keep.
In time.
Look, we can go through revisionist history thinking, what if Kadri, Kapanen, and Brown was still here with Hyman? What if Bozak was that fourth line center? And the list goes on and on.
That's, that could have happened.
Yeah, it could have.
It didn't.
No, it didn't. Like,
because
things happened the way they did, but they've made Kyle Dubas has made stupid decisions. Thinking, let's just lock up the four guys, give them whatever they want, we'll plug and play around. Well, guess what? If Austin Matthews got surgery a little bit later than he did this year, he would have missed the beginning of the season. John Tavares, your first line center. Who's after that?
Who's next?
And for years, the Leafs have so much depth.
Michael
so much
Bunting.
depth. They have
Who's
the best
next?
depth.
Nick Ritchie? Is he? Who?
Dude, the Leafs are in trouble, man. The Leafs are in trouble.
Do we have?
They're one bad injury. And
even
knock on wood, because this table's wood. Yeah, McKayev wanted to trade.
Even McKayev, who we fucking bred.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
we brought him over, and we were like,
There's
okay.
gotta be something going on in that dressing room, and you know what? We're going to figure it out.
October
1st.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that, too.
October
actually.
1st.
I really hope Morgo doesn't leave, though. He's probably one of my favorite Leafs in my era.
I hope he gets every dollar that he can.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope we finally just make a good decision and
doesn't
keep
seem like it.
And keep someone, please, because we can't.
And you know what bugged me too?
Honestly,
about
the best case scenario is that we don't make the playoffs and we fucking trade everyone before that.
I actually don't hate that.
This
but
could be
also,
a really enticing year.
When's the last time we had a promising young defenseman? It was Luke Shen, and look what happened to him. Like, the Leafs have the worst track record with defensemen. The fact that Morgan Rielly's been able to stick it out, be a successful defenseman for the Leafs, elite defenseman for the Leafs for such a long time, should be enough for management to say, this doesn't happen very often. This guy is literally a unicorn. We need to keep him. Yeah. Like,
if they lose Hyman,
not many people can handle the pressure.
If they lose, they lost Hyman, but if they lose Rielly, if they lose those two guys in the span of 2 years or one off season, man.
I mean, I would love to.
The Leafs are in trouble, man. The Leafs are in trouble, and I don't understand or where people are getting these projections. Oh, they'll still finish like second or third in the Atlantic. They'll have 100 points. What are you talking about?
I got bets on them not making the playoffs.
Yeah, like I said, they're more likely to not make the playoffs than
Tampa
they are
Bay
to win the cup.
In front of them.
Like, I think last year
Florida
was
in front of them.
Florida's going to be good. Last year we're going to see Florida, by the way, in Arizona. Last year it was a bit of facade. The Canadian division was not that good. I don't care that the Habs went to the Stanley Cup Finals. They got hot at the right time.
They beat seven teams to get to the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
the Leafs got to beat up on Ottawa, Vancouver, Calgary. They smoked Edmonton a bunch. There was that 3-game series where McDavid had 1 point.
I remember that.
When
Edmonton had like 2 goals over 3 games.
That's when Mikheyev turned into Ilya McDavid.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
You know, like, I don't know, man. They're going to be in trouble, but we're running out of time. I have to run a little bit early today, so we have to save the big science, the cockroach fact for next week.
Okay.
The would you rather. I know. I apologize. You know, it's just
tough. That's
things are running late. We got other commitments.
Yeah, and
stuff like that. You guys ran a little bit late today from work,
it's
but
been
hey,
a bit of a shit show.
that's what happens, dude. It's all good, you know. But
I'm sweating right now.
It's raining
It was
outside.
a
It's just
heated day.
depressing.
Heated discussions today, gentlemen.
It was good. I thought it was good. There's some good shit.
I agree.
Thanks for listening or watching, everyone. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button.
Thanks for coming by.
If you haven't already, leave a rating or review. Hit us up on our social media pages. You heard them off the top. We're out of here. Until next week.
Well, then get the fuck out of here then. Okay, see ya.